This was my second match in Tokyo, and this time we were truly all aliens on court, just like Sting in New York. Throughout the video I'll share my experience with the paddle culture in Japan, so if you're planning to travel there, I hope that this will help you how to find where to play and how much would it cost. Today I played with Alexis, a lefty from Belgium, and on the other side we had Eva and Raf. Alexis has been playing for a few years, and funny enough, the first time I ever played Padel in Tokyo a couple of weeks earlier, we ended up in the same group again. That time it was more beginner level game, but today we found stronger opponents. I noticed that Eva comes from tennis. Usually, tennis women who transition to Padel have fast backhands and powerful overheads, but she surprised me. She played very smart, finding all the holes between Alexis and myself, and honestly, her forehand impressed me more than the backhand. After speaking with her, I found out that she's from France and works as a tennis coach here in Tokyo. So if you're looking for a lesson, I'll try to link her contact if you want to find her. Raf is also Belgian, and he has been playing paddle for 4 to 5 years if I remember correctly. He comes from squash, and as most squash players, he's very good with his wrist and angles he creates. We played during the day from 1 to 3 p.m. and we were very lucky with the weather because early December in Tokyo can already be cold. Before going to Japan, one of my must-do tasks was finding courts and groups to play with. I heard that most clubs rent rackets, so I decided to travel light and only pack my clothes and shoes. I found one Facebook group, which I will link in the description, where I booked my first game. It was with 2 Japanese guys and Alexis. I will try to upload the video later this week or next week. After that, either from Facebook or Reddit, I found a WhatsApp group with around 150 players, I believe mainly foreigners, separated by levels and tournaments. I joined the gold level group, introduced myself, and that's how we organized this match. At the start of the match, I rented a racket, and for the first time ever, I saw a Rossignol racket. I've only known the brand for ski, so seeing a racket felt strange. It also gave me a great excuse for missing my easy early shots. Later, I noticed a Dunlop carbon racket next to the bench, which was much harder, so I switched it. It was my first time playing with Dunlop, and I actually liked it a lot. It was very maneuverable, it had plenty of power, and it felt perfectly medium balance, let's say. Exactly what I'm usually searching for. Now with the new racket, my volleys felt surprisingly decent that day, especially considering I hadn't played for almost 3 weeks. Well, Alexis helped me a lot with his good angles to the fence, which kept us competitive even though we got broken in our second service game. Now about the reservations. I believe reservations are mainly done through the club's website. We paid around 2300 yen for 2 hours each. That's roughly 13 euros per person, which is amazing compared to Bulgaria prices. It seemed like one person books and pays, and then everyone reimburses them. Unlike Bulgaria, where we usually pay our own quota at the desk. About the rental rackets, I believe I paid around 400 yen, which is around 2 euros. And the both were about 5 to 6 euros. Thank you, Raf, for getting the new can. Now about the club itself. It's called Padel Tokyo Mizumachi. The club is right next to Tokyo Tower and has an unbelievable view. They have 3 courts, which you cannot leave when you have a portress. And to be honest, once again, if you go back to the view, it was so good that I caught myself staring at the tower more than watching the boat during some points. The courts though had a lot of sand, so everyone were a bit careful to avoid slipping. The staff spoke perfect English, and they seemed to have several coaches. And if you want some merchandise, inside the club they sell some t-shirts, towels and hats, I believe. And after this amazing drop shot by Eva, let's continue with the match highlights. After this point, together with Alexis, we agreed that we need to be a bit more careful with Eva's volleys, not to play too many at her when we're in the net as well, because they're just too good, and most of the time she dominates us, so yeah, less volleys at her. Here I believe I made a big mistake actually, playing the last volley too hard, because actually it came back from the glass and Eva could have reached it easily. In the next point you'll see my second most favorite save of the day. Here Eva and Raf played a really nice point where Rafa tapped it out in the end. I think right about here Eva found my, as we say in Bulgaria, dupka in my parallel, and actually started using this quite often, and not sure why, but I somehow didn't manage to fix this mistake during the whole match almost. She continues using it. She made like maybe more than 5 points in my parallel, and I just missed them. Even though I have a lefty on my right side, so I can, leave a bit more of the center, I don't know, I still went there. Here we somehow messed up the score, but in the end it was 6-6, so we went into a tiebreak to see who will take the first set. Oh, on this one, it was totally intentional by me. I mean, obviously on a set point, of course. And with this mistake, they take the first set, but no worries, we didn't give up and we continued during the second one even stronger. Oh, on this point I remember that in my head I was going to do that double-handed backhand from Coelho, but from the left side. But watching it now, it looked more like just some random 6 years old kid playing a backhand. So I think I need to train it a bit more. After a few good points, Alexis manages to finish this one with a very good drop shot. Now let's talk a bit about Padel in Japan. Long story short, it's not very popular. I read that the first courts have been built around 2013, and at the moment there are around 50 courts in Japan. But don't quote me on that. Still, the growth of the sport hasn't been that fast, especially compared to some European countries. I talked with some players and they said that there are around 2000 players in Japan. Pretty much around the amount we have in Bulgaria, but to be honest, it felt a bit smaller here. Still, the community is very friendly and you can find players in the social groups. A big benefit is that it is not that expensive compared to European countries. I noticed that most, if not all courts have a lot of sand on them, even the ones that are indoors. But the quality of the courts, I believe, is good. I saw that there are a few clubs which have the Adidas courts. Still, I recommend everyone coming to Japan to try book a game with some locals and just have some fun and experience the Japanese way. And here Alexis manages to save a very good point, I think, with his defense. On this point, Raf manages to save a couple of, I would say, decent volleys from my side, but in the end I could finish the point with not a smash, but a slap or something that wasn't the best, but did the job. Here you can see a mistake I do actually quite often is when, for example, I play a few balls from the middle of the court and I leave my corner open and they can finish the point easily there. And here Eva with an amazing volley. And with this point, we managed to take the second set with a 7-5. A very good point from both teams. And in the end, here I actually want to share one of my struggles during this match. Is the reflection of the sun from the train you can see here. When there is a train passing by, when I want to play an overhead and I look to the right, like the reflection was exactly at my eyes. A few times during the match, we discussed with Alexis that I needed to play a bit more the fake smash, because every time I played the normal smash, first thing that he couldn't pop it out. The second thing is that Raf was already in front of the net and taking every time the ball. So yeah, I think this was the first time I played the fake smash, which is a bit crazy because it's the third set. Here I remember, I think you can see it, yeah, right about here. I don't know what was I hoping about. Maybe it was like a backhand tab out, but it was nothing similar. But at least in the end, Raf could return it with a nice behind the back no look shot. But in the end, we managed to win the point. Oh, in the next point you will see my favorite point of the match. Even though that in the end I almost kill myself because there is a net where the door is, I was still happy a lot with this point. Here actually you can see once again the good reflexes from Eva, because Alexis manages to hit the fence a few times, and during the whole match she was saving almost every ball. Maybe this one was the first one she missed, so great job. Oh, and on this point you can see the teamwork at its best from both sides. Here on this point you see amazing defense from Raf and Evo, but still, this is something maybe that we should have tried a bit more. Actually, it will be on this point, but still, something that we should have tried a bit more, to be a bit more aggressive at the net, because even though that, for example, Raf had amazing defense from the back, I think that we were able to dominate most of the times from the net. So yeah, we should have tried pushing a bit more and making play one more ball from the back. And here you'll be able to see once again the parallel, which I do not defend. So yeah, have a great job for finding it, and yeah, I'll try to a bit improve my positioning a bit more for next time. And with that, our court time finished. The last set we finished at 5-5. So yeah, I want to say huge thanks for everyone I played with. Oh, and by the way, someone was filming with a camera during the match in the back. I think you can see it even on the recording. So yeah, long shot, but if someone finds this footage somewhere, maybe in some random vlog, yeah, let us know. And as always, thank you for watching.